this might be an intervention for Ranbir Kapoor without Ranbir Kapoor. Hi and welcome. This is Just Too Filmy. I am Brotox, and 24 hours ago, Nikhil Kamath dropped a video chat with Ranbir Kapoor. It's a 2-hour long chat, and 1 million people watched it in the first 24 hours. Zahir si baat hai, the 3 people in the studio have also watched it. I'm Rohini, Rotox, and with me in the studio is RJ Pari and of course Rashmi Manuja. Rashmi Manuja is the producer at the radio station. Pari hosts a show on Radio Nasha, and I am the host of Just Too Filmy. The reason why we're doing this, it's something different. We've never done it before, guys. Is we're actually going to be analyzing an interview. That's not our own.
Yeah.
So let's start off by telling you guys that I actually had no idea, what this podcast was like. Nikhil Kamath, I know him, but I just knew that he was an entrepreneur and he's in the Forbes list, and I thought that was cool. And then I also remember him being stuck in some controversy about chess, where he played against Vishwanath Anand.
Yeah.
And apparently he cheated.
So
I remember at that time, I was like, who's this guy? But I'd never seen a podcast of his before.
Yes.
And I feel, I'm sure people who are fans were going to come at us at the comments saying that, oh, you've never seen. No. And that's why. And that's why he had to get Ranbir Kapoor so that, I would be interested. I was instantly interested because Ranbir Kapoor doesn't do too many interviews.
Yeah.
And here he is. When he spoke, he didn't stop talking.
Yeah.
It's a 2-hour interview. Did you also spend your Sunday watching this interview?
I did for 2 hours, and it's so rare, today interviews being 2 hours in this age of reels, जहाँ पर एक second की रीलें बन रही है, उसमें 2 घंटे का interview which was so heavy.
That was heavy, right?
It was heavy.
It was like a therapy session with 2 dudes.
Yeah.
One of them goes to therapy and we know who that is. The other one might need to. But since then, of course, a news cycle. So it's strange because I was watching this interview, and as Ranbir was talking on this interview, alarms or red flags were going up in my head saying, oh my God. Because let's be honest, he's been extremely honest. He's been extremely open and vulnerable. But I know this media. I am this media. So when I'm going to shy away from it, I said, he said stuff like this. And then ting, ting, ting on my phone, like literally on cue. While I was watching the interview, there are these news, blurbs that keep appearing on my phone, which says, Ranbir Kapoor said this about Alia Bhatt. Ranbir Kapoor said this about mental health. Ranbir Kapoor said this about his father. And I was like, oh my God, of course it's going to be a PR nightmare. So let's start at the beginning, where he comes in for this interview. I think dudes talking to each other, it just becomes a podcast.
Yes.
Like two dudes on a microphone. Yeah, I mean that's a trend, right?
That's true. Like men on mic, and everybody has a podcast now. And if you see mostly men talking to people, it becomes a podcast.
Men talk to men.
Men
don't talk to anybody else.
Yeah, but then they can just talk about anything. And can you and I think of doing a 2-hour podcast today? Because we'll think कि कोई देखेगा क्या यार?
Yeah, I think women have that little bit of an imposter syndrome.
हाँ,
and we
कि
deal with
हमारी
that.
बातें कौन सुनेगा?
Yeah.
But I don't think
Confidence की कमी नहीं.
I don't think they have that. कि यार सुनेंगे लोग बैठकर 2 घंटा हमारी बातें, because they're literally talking about everything.
Yeah.
And उसके बीच में खाना भी चल रहा है.
Chef Harsh. Shout out to Panda, who I absolutely noticed at the back. And then at some point he kept cooking at the back, and I said, might as well just show the food, and they did. So there was enough time in the interview to even show what he cooked and what they were eating. Yesterday, I put up a post after watching this interview on my Instagram saying that this interview might actually do more damage to Ranbir Kapoor than Animal. And I stand by that. The reason being, and a lot of people have gone apeshit at me on the comments because they are like, no, I think it was really honest, and no, I think it was really vulnerable. Yes, it was honest, and yes, it was vulnerable. I mean, somebody wrote under my comments that this is the problem with the media. They only pick up a headline, and they only pick up the masala. But darling, that's what the media does. Okay, so they are here for the headline. They are going to pick up only on the masala. And it's a lack of nuance on definitely the media's part. But there is some severe lack of nuance that I think is also on Ranbir's part. And that's what we're here to discuss.
Yeah.
What is the feeling you left with after the interview about Ranbir Kapoor?
That he is broken. I mean, that's the first thing that came to my mind, that he's unhealed. There are a lot of unresolved issues that need immediate attention, and that he's a bit broken.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, मतलब क्या बोला, क्या गलत है, क्या सही है, all that is there. But that was the first thing that is what I drew from that conversation, that he's a little broken.
Yeah, and we'll come to that. I think one of the first headlines that popped up was him talking about Alia Bhatt, you know. And it's crazy how Alia Bhatt has had to change herself. And I think what people have picked up on is that Alia had to change her tone of voice or change after marriage. And he also turns around and says that he didn't really have to change, or he hasn't really changed. So in some way, he's like admitting that he hasn't done his part or as much as he would like to do. And I just felt that it's let's watch that clip.
She, for example, used to speak in a very loud tone. And I think because of my father's tone, growing up, always kind of rattled. So she really made efforts to kind of change that. And that's not easy when you've lived 30 years of your life speaking a certain way. She's someone who very instinctively react to if Raha falls down, or so she makes certain things which put me at ease. I hope I could say something that I did to put her at ease, but I don't think I've done anything yet.
Okay, so he said all of this, and now I'll tell you where this comes from. Okay, my sort of worry is not. I get what he's saying here, that it's in a marriage where people have to adjust, and that's nothing's wrong with that. But let's look at the Alia Ranveer history of the relationship in the media, right?
Yeah.
She was a fangirl. She fell in love with him, and then one day she declared that she's going to marry him. And then after that, when they did get married, this string of stories, unintentionally started coming out. Like, for example, there was a Vogue video.
Yeah. It was one thing my husband always, when he wasn't my husband, when he was my boyfriend as well, when we used to go out at night, he's like, wipe that off, because he loves the natural color of my lip.
Where she's applying lipstick. It's just about her skincare and her makeup, and there is nothing controversial about that video, but just that one statement about
what
how
happened. It's towards the end of the video, right?
Yeah, so at the end she says that I like to apply my lipstick like this, and it's a very weird way, and I feel like it's very easier for me to apply lipstick like this. But after this is a very normal conversation that you can have about your makeups and skincare and all of that, and then suddenly she says that, then I rub it off. That's because my husband, then boyfriend,
now
would always say that rub it off. Yeah. So I feel like that's why would you want to rub it off like that?
No, he doesn't like it.
Yeah.
And here she is very okay with the fact that if he doesn't like something, she's okay to do it or change.
Yeah. Correct.
So that's one, story that came up.
Correct.
I remember Coffee with Karan, the
With
one that
Ranveer
Ranveer
Singh.
where she wearing the pink dress.
Yes.
Where she said this.
Do you feel like you had to do a lot of adapting?
In a very good way.
Yeah.
I, like you said, I've been brought up extremely like me, my mum, my sister, my father. Even though we're a very close family, we're not a very big family. And also we don't have these sort of massive celebrations together. We don't constantly get together. Everybody does their own thing. Enter the Kapoor family where everybody does everything together. You eat together, you do Aarti together. It's like when everything is done together.
Again, coming out of this clip as well, I don't think that it's a big deal. Like if you got married or just note we're all single. We have no idea कि married people के life में क्या होता है. लेकिन I would like to assume that अगर शादीशुदा लोग एक ही घर में रहना चाहते हैं तो दोनों को you will change each other. Like there's no way that you won't change each other. But I feel like कहीं ना कहीं there is this whole thing of her constantly and inadvertently, and that's my problem. That it's said with a good intention. We can recognize that good intention, but there is the works, and the works will come at you saying that, you're forcing her to do this. She's not being forced, guys. She's a 31-year-old or 32-year-old woman,
Accomplished
with a child,
accomplished actor,
with a mind of her own.
With a mind of her own, and all of this is voluntary. Like she's happy to do it. However, the narrative is that he makes her do things.
Yeah.
And that's why when you come to this interview and when he said that she talks in a loud tone, and it jars him. And we're going to come to why it jars him. Oh
but
God,
he
this
said
is
it
a
before
train wreck.
also. He said it before also that he thinks that Alia is a loudmouth.
She, for example, used to speak in a very loud tone.
Hmm.
And I think because of my father's tone, growing up, always kind of rattled. So she really made efforts to kind of change that.
No, loudmouth is different, and a loud person is different. A loudmouth is when you tell someone a secret and everybody else, knows about it. That's a
Yeah.
loudmouth. But a loud person,
Person.
is generally like chicks, yeah. Like, we're all loud and we're all exaggerated. And she's a heroine, yeah. Like, come on, like heroines have that.
She
little
has
bit
Yeah,
of
plus she
thing.
has that. Her personality,
Personality,
is that,
yes.
like always.
But the interpretation of this, and that's what's got me, because in the last 24 hours, news cycles are like she had to change her personality to be with him. And I just feel that if you put these three stories together, what emerges is this sort of overarching कि आलिया रणवीर के लिए कितना करती है. And it goes kind of weirdly against the narrative of her being this really accomplished. And the thing is that we could all be all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he seems like he's the only one having an impact on the other person.
Yeah.
What do you have to say?
Yeah, I mean, it's really weird, because like how you said, the intention is good and we get it. But this whole thing of being a feminist and feminism and, why...
It should
why
be
does
marriage
she-
of equals.
Correct.
We both change each other.
We both change each other.
Yeah.
So these conversations are not there. The only thing...
Hang on, sorry. There's this clip and he goes ahead in the same interview and says this.
In a marriage, you have to let go of your personality. I'm sure she is also letting go of her personality. We kind of adjusting to each other, trying to make it livable for each other. Any marriage is doing that. So you have to let go and you have to adjust and you have to sacrifice facets of it because it's impossible for two people to like each other the way they are.
The marriage is about letting go of your personalities. When he said this, I just died. I don't believe in this. And that's my problem. I don't believe that marriage means that you got to let go of your personality. Would you let go of your personality after you get married?
No, I feel like changing your personality to adapt to the other person would make a little more sense, but completely becoming someone else that I'm not is something that I will not accept for myself. And I am sure that if I choose a partner and if he thinks that changing my personality for him is completely okay, then he is not fit to be my partner because I feel like I wouldn't expect the same thing from him.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But they don't change. Men don't change. And he admits to this in the interview as well. He says, I wish I had done even half of what she does for me.
Yeah.
And I think that all of this has left me feeling that, you know what, the honesty and the vulnerability is great,
Yeah.
but you are putting out an image of yourself that's not very flattering. And you've interviewed Ranveer. I've worked with him on some promotions as well. Lovely guy.
He's very sweet, very kind, very warm, and he's always obliging.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a starry attitude. So yeah, I mean, he has good intentions always.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But I just feel that he's coming across.
Coming
Yeah,
across,
as-
yeah.
The coming across is the problem because I'm just like, what? You're not this guy.
Mm,
You know, you're not a guy who, or maybe you're saying these things. I don't know who you're talking to. Are you talking to the majority of this country who really don't know how to like go ahead and, be themselves in a marriage? Because that's not true. I mean, two successful people getting married, it's even harder to get your individuality. You have to leave it behind at the door.
Yeah.
Let's talk about cancel culture. Let's talk about animal. I'll tell you why I said what I said on Instagram is because kahin na kahin, there were parts where Ranveer was talking and I felt that his life story or his sort of really traumatic relationship with his father, Rishi Kapoor, echoes the sort of character that he had in Animal very extremely. But you had a great observation because
Yeah.
according to you,
Yeah, his characters have had daddy issues in almost all films. Be it Wake Up Sid, be it Tamasha, be it
Ye Jawani Hai
Ye
Diwani.
Jawani Hai Diwani. All of his characters have had these underlining, father issues. All of his characters have been broken. You know, all of his characters have had unresolved issues.
Yeah.
So I
With the
don't
father figure.
with
Yeah.
the father figure, and then if you have unresolved issues with your father, it comes up in your life, in your personal relationships, in your idea of what romance and what a relationship is. Because if you haven't seen a very happy marriage,
How many of
Your-
us have? Come on. Like, we are living in India at a time when, things were not easy for us when we were growing up.
Yeah.
Okay, so whether it's the 90s or the 2000s, our parents come from a generation where their parents lived in joint families.
Yeah.
The Kapoors especially rejoice in the fact that they are one big family, and Alia talks about it here.
Enter the Kapoor family where everybody does everything together. You eat together, you do aarti together. It's like what everything is done together.
She basically says that, I started doing Aarti and Puja
Yeah.
and everything because of him. And okay, anyway, moving on, coming back to our main point. I don't think very lucky few people have had a blessed home where their parents, all parents fight. Okay? And हमारे यहाँ पे अगर आप मिडिल क्लास या मध्यम वर्गीय परिवार से आओ तो पैसा नहीं होता और झगड़े बहुत होते हैं
और उसकी वजह से सबसे ज्यादा होता है.
और उसकी वजह से सबसे ज्यादा होते हैं. But I think he said some things that really hurt.
Yeah.
Hurt us for him.
Yeah.
Like when he said this about, his parents fighting.
His temperament was so volatile that it always scared me. So anybody who speaks in a louder tone from childhood, it started disturbing me. My parents went through shitloads of fights, where we live in a bungalow. So I've spent most of my childhood on the staircases hearing them fight. So I was always a little scared. I was always on the edge.
Oh,
this was
this
is heartbreaking. I mean, I could just imagine that little kid
Freaking out.
going in a
Yeah.
freeze state when perhaps his parents used to fight. And yeah, I mean, that's when I felt that no, he needs help.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll come to his therapy, but before that,
This is the same feeling I had when I watched Inside Out 2. And that anxiety is going crazy, and Joy needs to pull it back. And I'm like, oh my god, what is happening? What is happening? And I'm having a panic attack. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, is this what he was feeling like at that time? And he never realized it because it must
He
be so
says it.
difficult.
he says it at that time he didn't have a panic attack, but he talks about the panic attack here.
I know that when the doctor told me the night that I was in the hospital, I was spending the night there. I stayed there for quite some time. And he said that this is his last night and he's going to go anytime soon. I remember I went up to the room and I got a panic attack because I didn't know how to express myself. I didn't know what was happening. There's too much to take. But I don't think I've grieved. I don't think I've understood the loss.
Yeah.
Like to lose a parent and know that you're going to lose them, and then that he also says he can't cry. He
Yeah.
stopped
He
crying.
stopped crying. Yeah. And then he goes on to talk about the guilt of
Yeah.
not trying to let go of the distance. But yeah, I mean, I think these things come to you when you actually lose the person.
This is also when I thought that why aren't these two talking to therapists instead? Like this, a lot of people have written it under
Yeah,
the
yeah,
comment section saying
100%.
this looks like a
Therapy.
therapy session between Nikhil Kamath and Ranbir Kapoor. And I think that because यार तू therapy जाना यार, कौन मना कर रहा है? He says this about therapy, which I found a little upsetting actually.
I have tried therapy before my father got sick in London. And I don't think therapy worked for me for two reasons. Firstly, because I don't think I could completely honestly express myself to the therapist. Maybe I wasn't someone who I connected with. And secondly, I realized that the therapist in some way was teaching me how to manipulate life.
What do you guys think about therapy? Do you think it's okay to go to therapy?
Absolutely. It is very needed.
What do your parents think about going to therapy?
I feel like for me, it's been a personal journey for me, and I'm not ready to share that much information yet.
With your parents?
With my parents.
Obviously.
Yes.
You can't. You're not supposed to.
It is difficult to even talk about it sometimes because
कि मम्मी पूछे कि क्यों जा रही है
हाँ
तो तुम्हें नहीं बताना
क्योंकि उनके लिए this was not that they had people to talk about problems with. But now, because we've become so closed off with our thing, working and everything, that we don't get a chance to talk about our feelings, sit down and chat with our friends about feelings. And I feel like that time with your therapist is the best time
Sacred.
to actually figure out what is going on in your heart and your soul.
And how you're feeling.
Yeah.
You know, you go through microaggressions on a daily basis from people. Something somebody said rudely to you. Okay, somebody who you don't know, like for some reason was very rude to you.
Yeah.
And you're constantly being, pushed around
Yeah.
in some way. Or someone's being mean to you.
Yeah.
Where are you going to process these feelings?
Yeah.
And I think that, what would your mom say if you went to therapy?
She'd say, ऐसा क्या हो गया? क्या जरूरत है? ऐसा मुझसे बात कर लेती. So basically, I think they think of it as failure on their end.
Oh,
That they
100%.
were
Yes.
not able
Yes.
to be those parents that you,
Mhm.
because my parents are always trying hard to be parents की, but नहीं हो पाता है.
Also,
Because
you
they
live
don't
away.
come from. I
One
live
second,
away.
hang on. Your
Yeah.
parents in Calcutta, you live
Yeah.
in Bombay,
Yeah.
you're living alone.
Yeah.
Okay, you are doing a high pressure job, you live with your mom, and you need somebody else to talk to because otherwise it's only her.
Yeah.
I live away from my folks, and that's why I need someone to talk to.
Yeah.
Therapy just puts together a framework of your feelings.
Correct.
It just makes you take these feelings, make them boxes,
And
and then
process it.
process them and put them in a place where it's a little more palatable.
Yeah.
I have been in therapy for 7 years, on and off, and that's something I must tell people who are looking for a therapist that it's a bit of a dance.
Yeah.
You may not find the first one is not the
Mm.
best one. It's like auditioning for your life partner, really. And it's like swiping on Bumble, where you go on multiple dates with therapists and then you find someone who'd probably be a fit. And
Yeah.
then that therapist has to understand you. So
Yeah.
there's a bit of a searching in that.
Yeah.
And Ranbir also says that maybe it was a bad therapist. And I was like, don't say that. Maybe it was a bad therapist, sure. But I feel like when he said that, I just felt that, why did you try again?
Maybe it was a bad therapist for him.
For him,
Yeah.
exactly.
I also think so. I get what he meant, because the first therapist that I tried was not a good therapist, and Ranbir goes on and says that he felt that the therapist was trying to manipulate life for him, which is absolutely true. That happened with my first therapist, and I was like, "Ye kya bol raha hai?" And then after which, so first thing is to actually get to therapy, it needs a lot.
Yeah.
It took me time to come to terms with the fact that I need therapy. उसके बाद आपको अगर ऊपर से सही therapist नहीं मिले, तो आप फिर एक
Dejected
Closed.
feel करते हो.
book बन जाते हो.
Mhm.
I think you close off, but you have to try again. So maybe he did not try again. He became very closed.
Yeah, but
After that.
through the interview, you just get a feeling of he needs to talk to someone.
He
Yeah.
does.
He really is.
Yeah.
Like even now, like I just feel that there is so much hurt and there is so much pain that you're just sitting there. There were so many points where I just wanted to hug him
Yeah.
and be like, and I don't know this guy. Like, sure, we worked a couple of times for promoting movies or whatever, where he's come to the radio station for an interview and stuff. But it's not like we're friends, okay? But still, there is just, even if it was not him, and because it's him even more, because you have such a public life,
Yeah.
and there is responsibility. And speaking of responsibility, there's one point, and this is the first time I was watching a Nikhil Kamath interview, so I was also kind of getting used to his style, and I thought that both of them were talking to each other as equals. These are things I liked about the interview, because हम इतने इंटरव्यूज करते हैं, कोई हमसे नहीं पूछता कि आप कैसे हो.
आपका क्या मानना है?
आपका क्या मानना है? Like, what do you think? What do you have to say? I must say, as a side note, I was on stage the other day, and you're typically in these events where you're hosting things, they will pull up 6 chairs for 6 celebs,
Yeah.
and you are standing.
Yeah.
And Janvi Kapoor was on stage with me, and she was there with Roshan Matthew, and both of them looked at me and said, "Where's your chair?" And I said, "I've never been asked. Thank you." And it's just, they were just, thank you for being human at that point. Like,
Yeah.
it's just, thank you. But we have to do that for others as well, right?
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
so coming back to Nikhil Kamath, I found this t-shirt a bit irritating. Authenticity is transient. No, because in your own interview later on, they talked about Shah Rukh Khan.
Yeah.
And that is the example of perhaps the most authentic man in the world. And it's crazy how everyone says this about Shah.
Everyone has to say the same thing about Shah Rukh. Everyone. I mean, it's
It's not an act.
strange. I'm sure it
It's
isn't.
not an
Because if
act.
the whole world is saying the same thing of how open and generous he is, and he looks at you and makes you feel like the most important person in the world, oh my god, how does he do it?
Everybody loves him for a reason.
Yeah, absolutely. But that is authenticity. And when you come onto a thing and you say authenticity is transient, I mean, in 1 second, I have made up my mind about you as a person. And I'm just like, so is your authenticity also transient? Hey man, I was just getting into the fact that you were perhaps having a very authentic chat, you know, with people and with someone very important and someone whose opinion I want to hear. And there is a guy who we're all invested in, and we want this conversation to be authentic and not transient. So I don't know, I was like a little out of that in that moment. But the one thing that he said that really threw me out of the interview was when he said this.
But this is not okay. I don't think movies should be where society derives their sense of morality.
Yeah.
Movie is a medium of entertainment.
This is where he talks about how cinema does not have responsibility. Boss, what do you have to say about it?
No, in a country where people copy their favorite actors' hairstyles, and ye abhi se nahi, hamesha se hai, how can you say that cinema doesn't influence people? Like, no, I mean, I get that life imitates art and art imitates life. Ye bahut bada discussion hai. But no, obviously there is an influence. People start behaving like that. People start thinking, and especially if you are normalizing something, if you are showing a character as a bad character and then the bad character has consequences at the end,
Absolutely.
then obviously we know that this is something that we don't have to take away from.
Absolutely.
But if you are normalizing something and glorifying it, then obviously people are going to take this, consider it as, okay, this is something we
I
can
can't
do.
believe we're still talking about Animal. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God, like this whole interview at that point seemed like Ranbir Kapoor is still clarifying why he did Animal.
And he's not accepting that.
Yeah. And he said this.
Let me tell you, like when the film was released, even though it did amazing numbers and did really well and we got a lot of love, there is a big audience which found this film misogynist and found this film wrong in some way.
It's not social media. Let's be honest. Because he's being so honest, he says that मेरी फिल्में नहीं चल रही थी. I needed to do something drastic.
Yeah.
Admit it. You did something drastic.
ठीक है.
You did something that you perhaps don't even believe in.
Correct.
And I don't believe that you are that guy because, as I said, we know him a little bit. And we know that that's not Ranbir Kapoor. But the minute you stand for something, okay, or you don't stand for anything, then you fall for everything, right? Like I remember Shahid Kapoor turning around after Kabir Singh and thoda sa admitting that, you
Yeah.
know, I know that this is a bad guy.
Yeah.
And I don't think Ranbir has ever come out and said that that was a problematic
Yeah.
character.
Correct.
100%.
And I think that this was an opportunity for him to admit,
Yeah.
and he didn't take it. I think in the past, and here's where the glorification comes in. The character who would say the line, which is "kiss my shoe" or "your hips are very wide" or whatever it is.
Pelvis.
Yeah, and you have a wide
Wide
pelvis.
pelvis. Yeah.
और तो उसे 4 बार पैड बदलने होते हैं महीने में.
हाँ, मतलब, you know, that I don't have an ick to that at all. But, you know, especially the other one, which is "kiss my shoe" and "you have a big pelvis," used to be said by the villain character.
Yeah.
So then the Ranjits of the world would say, the Shakti Kapoors of the world would say it. And then you could tell in the morality of things that ye ladka aur ye aadmi villain hai. You know, the thing is with the lines blurring, okay? So it's not like even Shah Rukh did Bazigar. There is no problem in you playing a wrong character as long as you are aware that this is not the hero.
Correct.
And that's, I think, where things went a little crazy with the Kabir Singh and Animal. I had a really big problem because while I was watching Animal, I thought it was a splendidly crafted film. I'll be honest with you. Sandeep Reddy Ganga is a fab director. He is so smart. I think he's so, you know, I mean, there's much to admire about him. So I came out of the theater feeling very, unfeminist. Thinking, how can I
enjoy this?
How can I enjoy this? And I think Varun Grover put it in perspective for me, and he said that it doesn't matter how crafty you are or how good you are with your skill.
Yeah.
If your intent is not right, then you're using the skill. You could use the skill so much better
100%.
if you had a better message. So ultimately, the message is the medium.
Correct.
So it was a very interesting perspective. But I don't agree with Nikhil's analogy there, where he turns around and he says, "Oh, Godfather." No,
I don't
everybody
agree with
knows
that.
he's a gangster.
No.
Godfather
Yeah.
was a gangster, and if you do bad things will happen to you. And maybe that's what's in store for you, even in Animal Park, which is coming up. But I can't believe we're still discussing Animal. Just shoot us. Just shoot us. We're never going to go this way. Coming back to anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, I just, even in the interview, his issues with his father, Rishi Kapoor, so evident. And he's, I think it's the first time he's been so vocal about
his dad.
his dad, and then there is the part where he says that how, because Rishi Kapoor was this huge star and people would obviously want to come closer to him, take pictures with him, but he would, tell them that no, I don't have time, मेरे पास time नहीं है. And then that young boy, Ranbir Kapoor young boy, he would see all this from a distance and he'd be like, यार उस fan की आंखों में देखो, उसे सिर्फ एक अपना moment चाहिए. So he says this in this interview that this is something that I never wanted to do.
My father, that he didn't like getting bothered. And if a fan came to ask him for an autograph or a picture, he very rudely turned to them and said, no, I'm not interested in doing that. And I always, sitting on the other side of the table, looked at that fan's face, and that fans used to look at my father with so much of disdain and disappointment that I was like, listen, I don't think I have the ability to say no to somebody. If somebody wants to take a picture with me or take an autograph, I'll be more than happy to do it.
And I think it shows in his gestures because I have seen it around. Anybody wanting to interact with him, he's
Or take a photo.
or
Yeah.
take a photo. He does not throw an attitude at all.
Absolutely. And he says that he's an avoidant. And I think that this is the part where and this is where I said, you need to talk to a therapist and not to an interviewer. This part where he talks about the friend who broke his heart.
But I think when I was like 4 or 5, whenever this friend used to leave home after playing with me, it used to really burn inside, like something used to break. And I think maybe I just closed up and I just detached myself from everybody. Maybe it was that, maybe I was born that way, I don't know. But I do have memory of feeling a lot of pain when that person was going away.
And then he said he stops crying.
Great relationship with my mother, not so great with my father, distant, but loved and respected him. Stopped crying very early on. And I just stopped crying. Yeah, that's my childhood. Funny, I didn't even cry when my father passed away.
And he said he stopped crying from my pagal ho gaya.
Can I say one thing though? Like I've observed that we as a society are so scared of failure and so scared of like sadness that मतलब पहले भी ऐसा बोला जाता था कि लड़के रोते नहीं है. And then now people have started coming up with campaigns जिसमें बोलते हैं कि नहीं लड़के रोते हैं. It's okay to cry. So I feel like he is coming from that generation where he has been told all the time that लड़के
Boys
रोते
can't
नहीं
cry.
है.
And also he talks about the responsibility. Like when his father
Exactly.
was passing away, he's got married, he's got a daughter, he's got a mother, he's got a sister. And imagine the
Pressure on men in general.
And I think someone said that on my Instagram, page where someone said that there is a hypocrisy in this, right?
Yeah.
Because आप ही बोलते हो कि लड़के vulnerable नहीं होते और जब वो vulnerable हो रहे हैं तो आप ही आके बोल रहे हो नहीं, I don't think that we're dissecting his vulnerability. No.
Yeah, we don't have an
No.
issue with the vulnerability.
Correct.
We don't.
We,
What we're talking about is that these are things that are not going to be okay.
yeah.
Not being able to cry, being the avoidant, not being able to take therapy, about thinking of yourself as being alone, really. Like, out of all of this, I just felt that he's very alone.
Yeah.
There's a point where he describes Alia and he says,
she really makes me smile. You know, I'm very happy to go home to her. I love going on a holiday with her, but I love coming home with her also.
Is she in a good mood a lot of the times?
Well, she is a very ambitious girl and she's a overachiever. Like she's really passionate about her work. Extremely passionate.
And Alia's just seeming like, and he says, is she generally happy? And he never answers that question, you know, and maybe she is, you know, and I just feel that I wish that is a little grace of that happiness comes to him as well.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, Ranveer, you know, maybe we just love you too much. That's fine. All in all, Ranveer, a big hug. Honestly, here, 3 fangirls at the end of it, just saying that we are worried for you and we want you to do better. And I don't know, we can't possibly make your life any different.
Yeah.
And none of us can make anybody's lives that have gone by any different. But all of us have the power to change what lies ahead. And I hope that you can unlock that power for yourself because you deserve it. You bring so much joy to so many of us. I remember when he touched your hand like that in the interview.
Oh my God.
It
what a
was so
moment.
beautiful. Like she came to me beaming that day from that interview saying, you know what he did, you know what he did. And I think that's the power that superstars have. I could be at the depth of my depressions. And if you turn around and if you give me a selfie, maybe I'll just be better for like a couple of days. You know, that is the power that you have. And today, I wish that all of us can give you that power. You know, like transfer it somehow. And I hope that happens for you. So, any closing thoughts?
2 things. First, I like that, you know, today where everybody has a podcast and there are so many conversations out there. This one was quite honest and vulnerable. But to counter that, there are certain things that he could have avoided or said it in a certain way. And third, Ranveer really needs to work on his unresolved issues. He needs help.
None?
I feel like I'm not changing my image of Buddy in my head anyway. I still love him. But
Yeah.
There is absolutely no question. He is one of the most loved stars of this country and that will never change.
Yeah. And I feel like the people who are trying to say that, you know, maybe you should just not do any interviews or maybe you should just stick to movie promotions. Maybe you should think about that also while he's working on his
They're saying
issues.
that I love him, but I don't need so much of him.
Yeah, because
But itni honesty bhi nahi चाहिए.
हाँ मतलब थोड़ा resolve कर लो फिर आके honesty दो तो it'll still be like it'll
Yeah.
make sense. Like first you figure it out for yourself, then come and tell us.
Yeah, you affected us.
Yeah.
You can't just throw this
Triggered
interview out in the
also,
world and then not talk to us. We want an update every week, Ranveer. How you doing? Okay.
Tell us if you found a good therapist.
Yeah.
Or we'll give you a number.
Yeah. Thank you for watching.